can you just tell me about that transition and how did uh, at what point do you first think that there was a need for uh, that you could fill with your own company?
Yeah, I think I was, again, maybe a little bit lucky that I was seeing the sports growth up close. And so had a really good sense for what was there and what wasn't there. And while it wasn't without soccer specific marketing creative agencies, which is what Name and Number ultimately is, there weren't very many. For the most part, there was one out of Chicago called Gilt Edge Soccer Marketing, which really was early. A guy by the name of John Guppy founded that agency and did an incredible job connecting to the sport. And again, I was up close and saw it sort of firsthand. And as we saw 2026 come online and the U.S. and North America get awarded the World Cup in 2026. The obvious thing to say is that it's going to continue to grow, and it has already. And so, as I looked at the marketplace and looked at where there was opportunity and saw the growth of the sport, it felt to me like there was room for a group of folks who were soccer specialists who understand the nuance of the sport, understand that the American soccer fan and fan base is unlike any fan base for any sport in the entire world, and that understanding that nuance was going to be really important to the next several years, and then beyond. Right, it doesn't end with the World Cup. I think it'll just serve as an accelerator. So it's a long way of saying, Edwin, that it felt like there was room for some other folks who love and understand the sport deeply, and brought a good bit of kind of marketing creative experience to the forefront. And so that led me to launch Name and Number. And then a year later, this past November, with two co-founders, I launched Pathway, which has a different mission, if you will. Whereas Name and Number is a very much a marketing creative agency built to help teams, clubs, brands connect to the American soccer fan and American soccer culture. Pathway's mission is to help ambitious professionals break into and build careers in the sport. And so we are focused on doing that, kind of both on the talent side, if you will, the person looking for a job, as well as on the hiring side and helping clubs and brands find, identify, and ultimately recruit and hire the best talent kind of in the soccer world. So that one's still only a few months old, but we're having a lot of fun building community with Pathway.
Awesome to hear. And specifically on the Name and Number, I was looking at some of the things that you guys do. I saw that you have a relationship, particularly with Borussia Dortmund of the Bundesliga. So can you just tell us how that came to be and what is Borussia Dortmund trying to do to increase its footprint in the US?
Yeah, happy to. They're a really interesting case, and we've been really lucky to work with them last summer, help them with part of their U.S. tour. It came about, to your question, Edwin, because I have periodically over the course of the last few years shared soccer job listings on Twitter, and their head of marketing, a wonderful guy by the name of Marius Hoppe, reached out and had a couple of job openings and said, "Hey, we'd love to put this in front of the American soccer fan base and some of the talent over there." So started with just sharing a couple of their jobs that they were trying to recruit for. We connected, hit it off, and had a number of conversations. And then when they came over to the U.S., they asked for a little help with one of their stops. They were in San Diego, so we went and we helped them source and then execute on a Borussia Dortmund branded taco truck in and around San Diego over multiple days, including content capture and some media and PR, local media and PR. Had a San Diego Zoo visit where we got to feed giraffes with some of their staff and had a really great time. So that's the background for the relationship. I think they're an interesting case because they have obviously an incredible supporter base and fan base over in Dortmund. The Yellow Wall, world renowned for how significant it is, how impactful it is, how beautiful it is. The songs that come from that group of supporters, the tifo, the displays. It's a really amazing starting point for a club that is, I think, sort of Dortmund through and through, but has the ability to attract fans worldwide and globally. They've really started to make that push over the last few years. And so, I'm a big believer that there's opportunity for most teams abroad to find some segment of the fan base, of their fan base here in the U.S. and to grow their fan base. I've seen data over the years, Edwin, that indicate American soccer fans many have three or more favorite teams. Just feels like it shouldn't make sense, but American soccer fans identify with different leagues, with different teams, with different players in a way that fans abroad I don't think do. I know that they don't. And there's also a segment of American soccer fans who love the sport, but actually say, I don't have a favorite team. And I fall into that bucket a little bit. I just love the sport. I like following a lot of different teams. And I have some sort of, teams that I follow maybe more closely than others, but I wouldn't necessarily say I have a favorite team globally. So within both of those segments of the soccer population, there's opportunity for teams abroad to come into the US, come in North America, and connect and find ways to grow their fan base and to grow fandom. And there's a lot of ways we're thinking about how that can be done, but I think Borussia Dortmund, as the kind of example, is really primed and ripe for capitalizing on a fan base in the States that loves authentic European soccer, that loves the authentic supporter experience. And I was fortunate to go over there in December and can tell you it's an incredible, incredible experience if you get to do it in person. And I know more would like to.